Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Just Another Talk. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the Venezuela earthquake. I have a map up of the affected area, and I'm pretty much giving you the details that I could find at the moment. Things obviously will probably change. Let's get to some of the videos that I found on the day of the earthquake. So this right here is, I can't play the sound because it has music over it. But as you can see, it looked like that young child looked up and maybe the wall was going to come down. And you see the crack developing on the right-hand side of the screen. That's insane, man. From what I understood, it was two earthquakes. It was one that was 7.5 and then a 7.3 magnitude earthquake. And we'll get into a lot more details, but look at that. The devastation that this thing caused is serious. Look at that person barely making it out of there. If they would have been a little bit sooner, they probably would have been crushed, which is honestly sad. Here's another video of a gym. And the earthquake obviously starts. Everybody starts running. Look at this lady right here in the blue. Talk about nerves of steel. She just stood there. Like nothing's going on. She's like, oh, I'll be alright. That's insane. I would have definitely ran out of the building though, for sure. I am not staying in that building. I don't know. She got nerves of steel for that one. Let's see what else we could find. So this looks like a drone shot of the area. And it's pretty devastated. Like, look at that. The building's just literally flopped over. You can imagine how many people must have been in all the buildings. It's just sad, man. It's really bad out there. From what I've gathered, from what I've seen before I started the video, to even watching some of these videos, it is really bad. And it's only going to get worse. There are people trapped without the ability of getting out. And they don't really have the infrastructure per se to be able to get people out, which is probably the saddest part. I don't want to play some of those hidden videos because it seems like there's gonna be bodies, and I don't wanna show that, of course. Let's see what this is.
Mierda, weón.
He's just saying shit.
Qué loquera, weón.
This is crazy. This guy's kind of smart though. He running as fast as he can to get out, and I think that's probably the safest thing to do, honestly. Get it out of the building and as far as possible from the building. Look at all the cracks on the wall. Damn, how high up is he? He's pretty high up.
Mierda, weón. Qué locura esta mierda, weón.
He's just saying,
Acabó
shit,
con
this
el
is
edificio.
crazy. Damn. Damn, look at the building. The farther down he goes, the more demolished the building is. And you can't even get out that way.
Mierda, weón. Yo acabo de subir del ascensor. Acabo de entrar.
Look at that. Wow. Wow. And I'm really curious if these buildings are built with earthquakes in mind. It seems that with all the devastation that's happened so far, they may have not been equipped for earthquakes. Let's see what this is. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Wow. That's insane. I wonder why they didn't just pancake. Sorry, I let the intrusive thoughts win. If you know anything about 9/11, you'll understand that. If not, it's okay. Let's see, what's this? This is a tattoo shop.
Así vivimos el terremoto de 7.1.
He's saying this is how we lived through the earthquake that was 7.1 magnitude. Imagine going to get a tattoo and the earthquake strikes. That tattoo is not going to be a good one. Uh-oh. Look. This is when they notice. They're like, hold on. It's shaking. What's going on? He's like, oh, hell no. We got to get up out of here. We got to get up out of here. I think he said, where are my keys? Like, bro, forget your keys. Just get out of there. Who cares about the keys? Let's see. Yeah, everything's just shaking. Yeah, man, this is nuts. This whole situation is crazy. Yeah, I don't want to click on any of those. So we'll skip that one because that's obviously not a real video. There's another video. This video is community noted though. Let's see. It says a powerful earthquake struck Venezuela June 24th, 2026, causing significant damage and loss of life. The video shown is not real footage from the event. Yeah, okay. So that's another thing, guys. You gotta be careful when you're watching some of these videos. And obviously can be AI. Let's see what this is. After earthquake in Venezuela, family was searching for their baby among the rubble. The dad, in tears, called out to him at the top of his lungs, and the baby crawled out. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Goodness. That's... Man. I can't imagine having to go through something like that. That's insane. Let's see what this is. Seems like he... Did he get a message on his phone or something? It looks like he's checking his phone and you hear it going off. Oh. She's like, it's an earthquake? Oh man, moments before too. Look at that. And it hits completely. Wow. I see they got a baby pen. I'm curious where the baby is. Probably not there. So it says the Google alert on Android saved many lives. It was really 10 seconds before everything. Wow, let's see what this is right here. Man, this is crazy. Look at that. Oh, well, okay. Oh, he hit the dog. I'm gonna have to block that, of course. Jesus. Oh my God. That is crazy. Just people in complete panic. I mean, it's not much you could expect, honestly. I would be panicking too. I don't think I've ever been in an earthquake, honestly. This young lady's just doing her hair. She clearly got an alert. She's saying there's an estimated earthquake of 6.1, that is 69, I think she said miles away or something like that. It was something to that effect. She's like, did your phone go off too? She's like, and mine too, that there's a earthquake close. Oh, okay, and then she's like, oh yeah, and then the video cuts out. Oh, this poor dog stuck in the rubble. He's alive. A poor dog, man. That's sad. Or at least, oh, they got him out. Okay.
Vamos a buscarla ya, papá.
So happy ending. Look at that. At least they got him out, but just imagine how many people were probably stuck within the rubble. This one has music. I don't want to play it. Oh, there. I don't know if that's a good idea. This be under the support column. I would want to run in the middle of the street where there's nothing above my head. You can see the camera's obviously moving and the wall fell off over here on the left side. Yeah, wow.
Diego.
This is Diego.
Estoy yo.
I'm here.
Las
Like, are you
piernas, pero
squished? It's like my legs are a little bit, but I can move them. Don't worry about it. Relax. He's like, we're here. Saying super grateful. Man, that's sad. Even his son is like, don't cry, daddy. Damn. Oh, I can only imagine, man, just going through something like this. I mean, I don't want to go through nothing like this. I would never want to. I'm kind of at a loss for words, man. It's just sad. It's just like you could just imagine the amount of people that are suffering, the amount of people who are just going about their day and minding their own business. All of a sudden, an earthquake hits. Now they're trapped in their building, or just the people in general who've lost loved ones, and also the people who are going to be affected by what happens today overall. You know, whether it's mentally or physically. It's quite sad, man.
Todo lo que tienen acaparado aquí, miren. Todo lo que tienen acaparado. Aquí un comando en agua.
It's like, wow, look at all the stuff there is here. There's medicine, diapers. Look. All this solution. I think that was saline, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Is this another? Oh, let's mute that real quick. You know, people just shopping regular day, just out and about shopping. You know, all of a sudden you see you're like, you feel that? Stole accidentally. Yeah, I mean, at that point, nobody really cares, honestly. Came back to return it. Threw that shit on the floor. He's like, yeah, I don't, who cares? He's like, nobody cares about merchandise in a time like this when, you know, your life is at jeopardy. This moment right here is a really good example of some of the things that I talk about that, you know, here in the United States, you have a lot of people who are worried about things that are, for lack of a better term, really not important at all. And it takes a moment of being extremely desperate and a moment of need for folks to understand that some of the things we worry about here in a first world country mean absolutely nothing. You know, and when it comes down to it, your self-preservation instinct is going to kick in, and that's what we'll always revert to, no matter the situation or what's going on. She's crying out for her sister. She's like, sister. Oh shit. I'm gonna have to block that out. Sad, man. Sad. It's like no one's helping us, no police, no firefighters. It's like if only some people can come and help us, even if it's from outside the country. Nobody's coming to help us. There's no machines. There's nothing that can help us. You know, when we yell over there, you hear people saying stuff, but they haven't yelled back in a while. It's like we can't get them out because it's too heavy over there.
en Capialamar, Playa Verde, toda esa zona, o sea, La Guaira está destrozada, más de 40 edificios.
Wow, she said
No te
more than
imaginas la
40
cantidad de muertos.
buildings.
Hay gente gritando, pidiendo
There's people
ayuda,
who are
atrapada
yelling,
en los
asking for help,
escombros.
who
Los
are
socorristas
trapped
no
in the
tienen ni
buildings.
siquiera agua. O sea, es
But
una
people
locura,
don't
por
have water,
favor.
and it's
Publiquen, pidan
craziness out
ayuda
here. Please
internacional para que
publicize
llegue
this and
gente
help
a La
us.
Guaira. Hay gente que todavía se puede salvar, pero
You
no
know, there's
tenemos
people
manos
that can
suficientes
still be
para poder
saved,
ayudarlos. Por
but we don't have
favor,
enough
hagan
hands
algo.
to save us. It's horrible, man. Jesus. She said that some of the police officers have driven by and have stuck out the middle fingers, you know, or have said that they're gonna help us, and then he just drove in front of us and left. And here the government workers just take pictures and then leave. And they've only gone to the private buildings, you know. And I'm here looking for my 4 kids. I heard them yell last night, but I don't know if they're alive anymore. And just like I am, there's a lot of other people. Obviously, I can't play this. I'm gonna have to blur that out. Well, this is a triage. This is just people lying on the floor, basically. There's people everywhere, literally, like, just everywhere. There's people here who need help. He's basically pleading to the government, saying, please help us. That's essentially what he's saying. Like, there's nobody from the government here. We need volunteers to remove the rubble. Anybody who can help. Anybody who wants to help. As long as you got helmets and gloves. We need all the volunteers possible. There's people buried in the rubble. Anything you can bring. Water, ice, food. What we need is electrical equipment that could cut through, I'm assuming rebar is what he was talking about. Well, basically like power tools essentially to cut through the rebar so they can dig out the people.
¿De qué medida? ¿Cómo son? Especifícalo. ¿Qué necesita? ¿De qué medida pueden ser los meriles?
Yeah, they need jackhammers.
7 pulgadas, 4 pulgadas. Ok, vamos, saliendo. El meriles inalámbrico de 7 y 4 pulgadas.
Yeah, that's a jackhammer right there. Devastation is crazy. And you know, another thing that I don't know if many people are thinking about, but what about the amount of buildings that now are unlivable? They might still be standing, but because they suffer so much damage to the integrity of the building, you now have to condemn the building. And that's a whole nother thing. This is bad, man. This is, my God.
Horrible, horrible, horrible.
Wow.
Ahí hay una persona muerta, aquí hay una persona muerta allá.
So this is horrible. There's a person dead over here and a dead person over there.
Una chama, weón. Es horrible, chama.
This is horrible.
Qué feo.
This is ugly.
Muy fuerte, muy fuerte. Muy fuerte.
Estoy sin palabras. Estamos aquí abrieron el paso en La Guaira, pero miren esto, señores.
Look at that.
No hay paso
Terrible.
hacia abajo. Muchos derrumbes. Este edificio aquí. Aguja Azul. Se derrumbó completo. Muchos edificios. Bueno, necesitamos todo el apoyo que podamos brindarle a la
We need as much support as possible in La Guardia.
Miren todo esto.
I think that's how you say it. La Guardia? La Guardia? I'm not sure. Seems like they're finding some people. Yeah, look at that. We seen that drone video earlier. Let's see if we can find any news articles about what's going on.
Venezuela's acting president today announcing the death toll from those devastating earthquakes is now at 589 people. Thousands more are injured. We get the latest from ABC's.
And that's what they know of.
Aid and rescue teams from around the world are on their way to Venezuela, including this team from the Los Angeles County Fire Department.
The entire humanitarian system is moving very fast and at scale, supporting the government-led response in Venezuela. Top priority, search and rescue.
One of those rescued, a 4-year-old boy, carried to safety as rescue workers search for more people trapped after the 2 quakes. But now, earthquake experts warn the death toll could top 10,000.
Of course.
The massive magnitude 7.2 and 7.5 earthquakes hit just 39 seconds apart Wednesday. Aerial views show the extent of the devastation in the hard-hit city of La Guaida, building after building damaged or destroyed. And now, growing concern that some buildings currently standing could collapse.
Even in my own building, there are many, many cracks in some of the apartments. In my own apartment, there's a lot of cracks in the walls.
For its part, the U.S. military sending 2 Navy ships and 2 planes to provide assistance. A Marine general will lead U.S. relief efforts. Volunteers in Miami also stepping in, shipping supplies to those in need.
Everything is important. Food, medicines, their family that they lose everything.
The International Organization for Migration says that 6.76 million people in Venezuela will be impacted by the quakes in some way, some 2 million people in Caracas alone. I'm Phil Tate, ABC News, New York.
Oh, Rubio reacts. Let's see what he says.
We're already deploying search and rescue teams from Fairfax County, Virginia, and Los Angeles. There'll be some others we'll add. That's their most immediate need right now is search and rescue efforts. They have a bunch of collapsed buildings, and so they'll need a lot of help in terms of digging through that. The airport there is badly damaged, so we'll have to rely on the Department of War to deploy assets there. And then we're also helping them with some overhead imagery, especially in coastal areas where they...
I'm sorry, I have to let the intrusive thoughts win, but yeah, aerial imagery, of course, we're going to help them with that because we did pretty good when we took Maduro, right?
And what the impact has been. Those are the acute, like short-term needs over the next 48 to 72 hours, because in search and rescue, you're trying to get to people while you can still save their lives. They're buried under rubble. And other countries are responding as well. The Qataris have already offered assistance, as we spoke to them earlier today as well. El Salvador has stepped up, and multiple countries around the region, including Chile and others, have reached out to us to communicate and get that happening. As we move forward with that response, with the sort of the short-term phase of response recovery, the second phase, of course, will be identifying their more longer-term and acute needs. What are the things over the long term they're going to need help with? We'll have a better assessment of that after the next 48 hours when we're on the ground and as the Venezuelan authorities get more visibility as to the level of damage in terms of housing. Where do you put all these people that don't have anywhere to go live? What we can do to help restore,
that's important,
or help them restore their communications, their internet, their telecom, and so forth. We'll also have to manage what we expect is going to be a surge of private donation. I can imagine that there's going to be a lot of people from the United States and entities in the United States. We've already been in touch with some of the leading charities, but I know at the local level, particularly in places like where I call home in South Florida, there'll be a lot of people that are going to want to step forward and help and provide assistance. And we just need to find the way that we can step in and provide logistical support from that. In addition, of course, we've already stood up our disaster response teams at the Department of State and our humanitarian efforts. It's something we did very well in Jamaica after that storm, and it's something we're really prepared to do now. So I've already spoken to Secretary Hegseth. The Department of War is going to have to play a big logistical role here because they have the ability to land in challenging places. Right now, the airport in Caracas is damaged. One of the runways is cracked. And so, but the Department of War has the capability to land in situations like that. So we'll need that. So we have an awful whole of government response. It'll be big, it'll be fast, and it'll be effective. And of course, obviously, we're in touch through our embassy on the ground where I believe we have almost full accountability of all of our personnel there. And of course, Americans are safe. The last point is we've also, we know there are American citizens that are inside of Venezuela now, so we've also gone through the normal processes that we set up for them to be able to communicate with us in case they need assistance or help. On this visit here, we had a very productive meeting, a very good meeting. I know you hear that all the time. So let me just say it was a really, really good meeting with the Gulf countries. They've shared with us some very concrete concerns, ideas, and when I say concerns, I think the biggest concern is that they really just want to be informed every step along the way as we enter these negotiations that both.
Yeah, they're worried about, the U.S. meddling in their backyard pretty much. But regardless, I think this is a good idea, though. I think this is a good time for the U.S. to come to Venezuela's aid and, kind of like doing a favor for a friend that pays off, 5, 10, 20 years later down the road, where we helped them not only rescue people, but also rebuild their infrastructure and, help them with this chaos that's going on. I think it's a good thing. It'll show that, we actually don't just want to take from them. We actually want them to be prosperous. And also, one thing that I don't think a lot of people realize was that at one point in time, it was, I think, like fourth or fifth biggest economy in the world. So Venezuela is not like necessarily a third world country per se. Like, they've just been mismanaged, so things have kind of gone downhill. But that doesn't change the fact that if managed correctly, they can be part of the global economy in a large scale.
The technical and political levels. And we want them to be involved, and we want it's helpful that Qatar is there as a mediator, but we want the views of all these countries to be reflected. We want and will not be making any decisions or commitments that in any way undermines the prosperity, stability, or security of our Gulf partners. So every step of the way we'll create a system where we are always in communication with them, and they're not reading about it in the media. No disrespect to all of you, but they really should be hearing directly from us and engaged as much as possible in this process as we move forward. And that was something that we talked about today. They have some other specific things. So one thing that came across very clear is there is zero support. Zero support among the Gulf countries for any sort of toll or fees or anything that charges for the use of international waters. The president's made it clear that's not going to happen. It's not going to be a part of this. It cannot be a part of this. He made that clear again yesterday in the Oval Office in a press availability that he had, and I reiterated that point, which I think was a welcome message from our partners here to hear that as well. So, all right, let's go.
What about your remarks this morning? You mentioned that no agreement with Iran.
So they're talking about Iran now, but obviously those beginning remarks were about Venezuela. I'm curious if there were any streamers in Venezuela. Oh, this looks like one. All right, let's see. Let's go back.
Okay, I don't think anyone's gonna say.
Even stupid.
Está temblando. Oh, fuck, earthquake. Wait.
Why do
It's
I
like
have
it's shaking. Oh shit.
What is that?
Earthquake in real life. Mierda, tembló durísimo.
Really?
It's like shit. It's shaking real hard.
Earthquake, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Mierda. A la mierda, me tengo que ir.
Full. Damn. I think she was playing Roblox. That's nuts. Yeah, she was playing Roblox. Not Roblox, Minecraft. Wow, that's insane. What's this? Oh my god. This is sad, man. At least grandpa and grandma are good. Nothing happened. Just a couple broken dishes. Did they freeze? Oh, okay, that's it. See, it looks like she was making a video. Let's see. Maybe she's live on TikTok.
Está temblando, está temblando. Salte, salte. Vente,
It's
Rose.
it's shaking, it's shaking.
Ay, Dios mío, hazle. Ven, no, no, te enganchas a las guayas, ven. Rose, vente. No, te enganchas a las guayas, ven. Rose, vente, Rose, vente, Rose. Dios mío. Quieta. Muchachos, está temblando durísimo. Ya está parando. ¿Qué es esto? Dios bendito.
That Wi-Fi is strong too. Nobody's Wi-Fi cut out.
Quieta, Rose. Quieta. Sigue temblando. Sí, sigue temblando. Rose, espérate. Sigue temblando. Ay, Dios mío, cuídame, por favor.
She's just praying to God, saying, God, please keep us safe.
Ya está parando. Dios mío, qué horrible. Terremoto, terremoto. Es que soy idiota. Ya paró de temblar. Espérate, Rose. Ay, Mili, ¿cómo estará? Dios mío, Señor Jesucristo. Disculpa, Anita. Pávete. No, pero no. Pávete la mano. No tengo nada. Dios mío. Suéltate. Es que no viste, ese fue un estúpido rayo. Sí. Por eso yo te dije mierda. Y entonces cuando... Rico, estoy temblando. Por eso te quedé viendo.
Look
Y tú
at
me
that.
estabas viendo porque estaba...
Adrenaline's kicking in.
Cayó un rayo. Yo estoy creyendo que iba a ser un temblor como la otra vez normal. No. Marico, qué horrible. Dios mío, cómo se movió. Acabo de haber un temblor, no sé cuánto, estoy temblando. Aquí en... Acabo de haber un temblor.
Wow. So yeah.
No, porque tiene la cabeza todo fuera de vaina, tiene toda la cabeza todo
Looks like just search and rescue, folks. Oh, that looks like a body. I don't want to see that, so we'll just keep going. Let's see what this guy
Hi,
has.
Mr. Musk. This is Melanio Escobar, a Venezuelan journalist. This time, I'm trying to reach out to you because I have managed to gather around 16 Starlink antennas, but they're sitting right now doing nothing in Caracas, Venezuela. Me and my team want to take those antennas from Caracas to La Guaira State, but we have one problem. We don't have the Starlink service, so we are reaching out to you to ask to activate for free the Starlink service in La Guaira State. This is the most affected place by the earthquakes in the whole country, and we are confident, I'm confident, that with a reliable internet service, we can help to get all those people trapped in those buildings to safety. So please, Mr. Elon Musk, free the Starlink service in La Guaira State, and we will do the rest.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody. Please, let's retweet it. Why not? Let's retweet it. Oh, I can't show that. It's just a bunch of bodies, pretty much. Is that in the middle of the road? Holy shit.
La carretera.
Yeah, in the
La
highway.
redoma de Morón.
Wow. Right down the middle. Goodness. Look at this.
Sí, yo vi, ya lo era ella.
Look at that. That looks crazy, man. Wow, I think we've seen pretty much most of these videos. Wow.
Amareli, se está cayendo esta mierda.
So this shit's gonna fall.
Mierda.
Wow. Is he holding this TV? Maybe not. I guess not.
45 segundos.
45 seconds.
Se rompieron las cosas, Amareli.
Wow.
Mierda.
Wow.
Mierda.
Well, on a positive note, that TV stand is durable as hell. I don't know how I'd feel staying in that building though. He looks pretty high up too, so yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, I don't. We saw this one already. They're saving somebody here. Come down, you're already falling.
Mira,
ahí, let's go.
Tranquilo, tranquilo. Bravo. Se pudo. Amén. Ayúdala ahí, ayúdenla. Con cuidadito, unos zapatos, una vaina, ayúdenla a salir. Venga, hermano, eres tú, oíste. Se te sencillo. Bendiciones. Dios te bendiga siempre, hermano. Yo. Venga, para el otro y eres tú y ahorita vamos para el otro.
You know, in times of need, people will come to the rescue, you know? Breaking. The devastation in Venezuela is almost unimaginable. Oh, it looks like they got a dog out too. This devastation is crazy, man. Let's see. Starlink stepping up for Venezuela. Free service through July 25th for impacted areas. Active customers, no action needed. Credit is applied automatically. Canceled customers, credit is applied so service can be reactivated by Starlink. Contact support to receive free service through July 25th. Damage kit, contact support for a free replacement. I mean, how would they contact support though? Let's see, what's this?
Navy. He's currently on the ground in Venezuela within 100 miles of where the epicenter of that earthquake was. Andres, thanks so much for joining us on the phone. Tell me what you're seeing, what the extent and the severity of the damage is.
Hey, well, yeah, and the main goal will be providing emergency supplies, first aid medicines, water, wipes, blankets, long-term shelf food, help with the establishment of temporary shelters, warehousing to coordinate collection centers, and of course, make sure all these resources reach to the people who really need them. We try to coordinate housing for the volunteers that the KU Navy is coordinating right now to come help within the strike zone.
Right,
and,
right. Tell me, but Andres, just describe what you're seeing. You were actually there when the earthquake hit. What did it feel like? What happened? What did you see?
Yeah, I was inside my apartment and it was terrible. I mean, awful. You could feel the whole building shaking, the glasses were shattering, the doors were jammed, all the staircases were, crowded with people. Everyone was screaming, panicking for, trying to get out of the building. It took me like 3 minutes to get out and felt all the 2 earthquakes inside the building. It was terrible.
How many buildings collapsed that you could see?
3 of them.
Three
Wow.
3 of them around me.
around you.
Just
And what are
around
you
him.
hearing about further on in other cities?
Oh, well, there's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of buildings collapsing everywhere.
What resources do people need right now? What is most important? I mean, we've been watching some of these rescues. Do Venezuelans have the equipment they need to try and get these people out of the rubble?
That's one of the most important things that I think we need. I'm pretty sure the rescue teams are having a very hard time trying to get to the people that is trapped inside the rubble because of the equipment and the knowledge how to manage that operation. We were not prepared for this at all. That is the main thing that we need. And after that, all those supplies, emergency supplies, first aid, medicines, water, wipes, blankets, I mean, everything that might be needed for a temporary sheltering, it's what we need right now.
I'm sure folks are sleeping out on the street. Nobody feels safe inside those buildings. Just an awful situation in Venezuela. Andres, thank you so much.
It's nuts.
Destruction in Venezuela. Solar System Geometry Survey issued a warning, but no one listened. Why? Because NASA assured everyone that you can't predict. 27 minutes before the mass destruction in Venezuela, Solar System Geometry Survey issued a warning, but no one listened. Why? Because NASA assured everyone that you can't predict earthquakes, and you thought you couldn't distrust them enough.
I don't ever trust NASA, but...
27 minutes.
That's nuts. I'm sure we'll have plenty of conspiracy theories come out and say a lot more stuff about this. This is crazy though, but it's sad. Honestly, it's very sad, and you know, there's so many people that are affected by this. You know, let's hope that all the people that need help can get help. And realistically, obviously, there's going to be a whole lot of issues moving forward. This just happened a couple days ago. I think it's been 48 hours, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, I hope that everybody who is affected can get the help they need, because this is a horrible situation. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. Even just watching this video playing in the background is kind of harrowing. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and until next time.